So, the appraisal came in $50,000 less than your agreed upon sales price. What do you do? My name is Joshua Sherman, for those of you who don't know me. I am a realtor here in the Fort Worth area, and I have been for about 8 years now. And believe it or not, in my time, I've not had that happen too many times. But it is going to happen, I believe, in a lot more coming up, especially in the market that we're seeing ourselves in. So what happens during that time? Now there's like 4 things that can happen. So the first one is to negotiate the seller down from whatever the sales price is to that appraised price. The second thing that can happen is that you can fight your appraisal. Depending on the appraisal type, you can always submit more information and say, hey, I think you have this opinion wrong because of XYZ of the house, or because of these factors, or this sale. You can provide that information, and sometimes the appraisal will readjust that. The third thing you can do is hire a new appraisal. So it just, again, depends on the type of loan that you have. But if you have one appraiser, that's just one person's opinion. Now, it's a licensed opinion, but it's one person's opinion about a specific property at a specific time. Now, if you had another appraiser come in, they might have a different opinion of value. And that happens. That really does happen. Now, a subcategory of that, who pays for the appraisal? Now, usually the buyer is the one that pays for the appraisal, but that second time that's around, maybe the seller wants to cover that tab just to see if they can get a little bit more extra money. Or the buyer and seller can split that cost. Again, everything in real estate is negotiable. Now, the other thing that a buyer can do is bring the amount of money to the closing table. So this might not be possible for a lot of buyers, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. Bringing $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 extra to cover that gap is very, very difficult for a lot of people to do, but it's technically something you can do. Now, the only other thing that you can do as a buyer is, I guess that's 5, whatever. Secret 1 is that you can decide to back out of the contract. There is, if you're a good realtor, or if you have a realtor who is really looking out for you, there is a clause within the contract that will state, or one of the addendum, that will state, if the property does not appraise for this amount of money, my buyer can walk away from it. They don't have to bring the extra money to the closing table. And more importantly, they can get some of their money that they put down back, which is, in here in Texas, we call the earnest money. Now, that is a lot of information, and it's easier said than done. A lot of these negotiations, there's a lot that goes into it. So if you want someone to fight in your corner, have an open mind. Give me a call. I would love to sit down with you, see what I can do to help you out, and hopefully get you into a home by the end of this year. All right, neighbors, have a good one. Bye.